Hey you guys, it's Beginnings. I hope you guys are having a fantastic start to your week today. Today's video is going to be another Grakk video. Ever since I got into that grind trying to get that last Grakk game, I've actually really enjoyed playing this hero again. I played him a little bit when I first started playing AoV, but I kind of dropped him just because as I got to higher tier gameplay, I just sucked at him and it wasn't working out. But actually, I don't know, I've been getting some pretty good games on him, and here is one of them. We immediately make our way over to the enemy's jungle because that's what Grakks do, boys and girls. In case you don't know, you can hook the enemy's buff level 1 from basically the river. We just walk into the bush, make sure he has no vision of us, wait for him to start it, and we just go ahead and pull it. See, it resets at about half HP. I think the Varus and the Zephyrs were there just because it got really low really quickly, and if it was just the Varus, then it wouldn't have been that low. Go ahead and walk forward here, use up our water stone stack, then make our way back towards the red buff. Just to see what this guy's doing, and we see that he's actually doing his red buff once again, so we're just gonna go ahead and pull it once again. I have a pretty good idea that the enemy's support is taking our red just because it is an ARM and she had been missing for a long time. And yeah, upon checking, we are correct. So we're just going to go ahead and make our way back towards the enemy's red buff once again. We see that it's actually pretty low, but so is he. We hook him out of the red buff area. We managed to slow him down a bit. We actually get the red buff, and we are just going to chase this man down now that we have red buff. He is going absolutely nowhere. We flicker away from the Crixie knockup. We slow these Zephyrs once again and take him out with an auto attack. We hook the Crixie, and the Slims will be taking her out as well. And that is just about as good of a start level 1 or level 2 as you are going to get on a Grakk, guys. We could make our way to the enemy's blue buff, but instead our Slims decides that he's going to go up towards topside. I'm going to come down just because I don't trust this Talanis to lane alone. And also, I wanted to get some vision around the dragon, and I also know the enemy jungler is going to end up on the bot side of the map, and I want to be there for that counter gank, basically. I don't want my Talanis to feed. Here, we're just protecting our Slims, making sure he isn't going to be in any sort of trouble. He's rotating down after he took the Sentinel. I pinged the tower because Talanis rotated up, even though she had a wave for some reason. So we're going to go ahead and rotate safely and get underneath this tower. You see my Gilder rotates through river, and because of that he gets absolutely destroyed. I hook the arm under the tower and immediately make some room because I see she hits level 4, but Talanis did not get that memo and instead walks into the arm, and she gets ulted and dies. That really sucks, but it's it happens. My jungler's red buff is now up, and the enemy did take the red buff, so I mean, not the red buff, the dragon rather, so we just need to make sure that our Slims has as much room to farm as possible. That is basically our goal when you have an ADC jungle like Slims. My Richter got vision of their red buff being up, and I want to mess with it, so we're just going to go ahead and pull it once again. The Richter is still camping. He misses his first dash, lands the second one, but we need to get out of here because the ARM did show up, and they will win that 2v3 pretty hard. I want to go in here, but the knockup actually messes up my hook. The Zephyrs will fall. The ARM ults the Slims immediately, but nothing really comes of it. I flicker forward with my ultimate. We end up taking out the ARM, but the Crixie is just too fast. She ends up getting away, but it's really fine because we can get this red buff as a consolation prize. The hook goes wide on the Crixie under the tower. It's okay. Didn't really expect to land that one anyways, if I'm being honest. And we're going to go ahead and rotate on down. You see our Talanis did die, and that sucks, but it's fine. We can push down this tower. Crixie was really passive with this tower defense, and she did not clear the wave at all. So between Gilder, Slims, and I, we will be taking down this mid tower. Their Zephyrs is really behind and really screwed. My Slims is on a very standard jungle path. I know that he's going to do blue and then potentially come mid and then go down to red, just because that's kind of how your jungle clear respawns on the second go around. The Sentinel is coming up soon, but I really want to help out this Talanis bot just because I know their Zephyrs is going to be ending up on bot side again, and I've learned that if you actually just camp the lane that the jungler is going to, around the time that they will be there, then people die less, except for this Talanis who walks into the arm and gets ulted. I get a nice little 2-man ult. They get pulled into the tower, but nothing really comes of it. The Gilder dashes in and commits really hard, but that was a bad idea. We end up taking out the arm, but it was a 1 for 2, I guess, and they will be taking out this tower. Definitely not worth. The Violet is overstaying a ton. I land a nice little hook onto her, slow her down a bit. We're going to go ahead and kite this one out. We get really, really low. She's going to roll into this bush right now, but we take her out instead, and we're just gonna go ahead and head on back because, boy, we are really, really low, even after the heal we got for the kill onto the Violet. After resetting, we know that the enemy's red buff is up once again. We could make our way over there, but our jungler does want to go for the dragon instead. And I would say that's probably the biggest difference between a really good jungler and an okay jungler is okay junglers never want to invade. The Slims lands a really nice spear onto the arm, so we followed up with a hook. We also flicker ult onto the Crixie because we know that the arm is 100% dead. She lives with 1 HP, but the burn from the dragon buff will be taking her out. Nice little 2 kills, 2 more assists under our belt, and because the 2 of them are dead and their ADC is nowhere to be found, we will be taking down this tower. We go ahead and hook the little small camp just to be very annoying. The Zephyrs does have his blue buff. They do have a few people here. Arm did just respawn, so pushing this tower is kind of a risk just because they can collapse with 4, but they just gave it up for some reason. These people are really, really passive, and it's great. We got a free tower out of it. I'm not going to complain. The Zephyrs' red is probably still up just because he has no red buff, and we see that it's up, and we also see him camping around the red now. We just saw him walk into that little bush, and we see that he's actually doing his red now, and so I want to make my way over to mess with that again. Unfortunately, the spear hit the jungle camp, so it did not walk where I thought it was going to, and so we do not manage to secure the red, but we do have priority over the sentinel area, and we can take that one out. See, we're just camping here in this bush just in case anyone wants to mess with the Slims doing his sentinel. I know the Slims is also going to be going back to his jungle clear right now. My Richter wants to do some spicy stuff, so we're just gonna go ahead and make our way over. He gets a nice little engage. The Gilder lands a 2-man stun. The Richter is chasing those 2, but I ult the arm, and she is in the middle of 4 people with nobody around, so we will be taking her out. A nice little pick for us. We will take that for free. I didn't actually build my Waterstone into anything this game. That was just out of like, what item is really good here, and the answer was, oh, they're all just kind of okay. So I decided to just not even build a support item. I just went Waterstone into Aegis and then Medallion of Troy, because that's the fastest way you can hit 40% CDR, and with 40% CDR you have more hooks, you have more slows, you have more ultimates, and it's great. The Gilder is in a really, really rough position here. He gets ulted by the Zephyrs, and the entire enemy team backs off immediately after. I wanted to look for a hook there, but those minions were kind of being annoying. The Aram is looking for an ultimate. The Gilder is really, really low. They are chasing. I camped this bush looking for a nice little ultimate, but I think the Aram second ability gives them vision because Aram literally immediately ults me. That was my bad. I shouldn't have been camping right there. My team is in a really bad spot though. They should be careful. The only reason I really took I really wanted to turn that fight was because Gilder was pushing top, and I knew that if we could delay them, we could get a nice little high ground tower, and we did manage to get the high ground. My team is chasing, trying to stop their backs, but it's way too late. There's no point in chasing them right now. They're already back, they're already clearing the minions, and all chasing is going to do is going to get that Slims killed. At least if the team that we were playing against was good, I guess. I don't know. They're really passive, so I doubt they're going to punish the overextension of the Slims. The Richter takes out the Violet, but dies in return. And I would say that that is a pretty worth trade because Violet is a pretty big chunk of their wave clear right now, and the Richter taking out the Violet means that we can siege the high grounds more easily. We see the red buff is up. We also find a wild Aram. She immediately ults me, but it is too little too late. She's in the middle of 4 people, and we will melt her with our 2 ADCs. We still see that the red buff is up, so we're going to be going for this one as well. They have 4 on the map, so now's a really good time to do the Stark Slayer, especially since we have so much control over the top side of the map. We're just going to go ahead and tank this up for our team. Richter is pushing out top. That is fine. That means that they're going to be having to clear a wave topside soon. We should clear mid like right now, just so those waves are like somewhat paralleled, but it doesn't really matter. People rarely parallel waves in ranked. It's just not a thing people do. Violet is really far out bot, so is Zephy's. I see this RM is here with at least 2 people gone, so I know we can get another pick. Go ahead and slow her, land a nice little hook, and she throws her ultimate onto the Richter, but she is just too squishy and she's going to die straight away. Crixie pops her ultimate. We have a wave pushing in top. We have a wave on mid. So as soon as we push in this wave and summon this Drake, we can take out this high ground tower. Grakk is pretty good for sieging. If you just hold on to your hook, people will be way afraid. I expected them to be stunned for longer, but I guess they have Gilded Greaves, so they were immediately just unstunned. We still have the Drake on our side. We also have waves coming in top soon enough. The Crixie is super slippery, but she cannot escape from our ending of the game. I have my ultimate, I flicker, I go ahead and flicker ult here. It baits the Crixie into the sphere. We also hit the Varus. We'll have a nice little hook onto the Violet and she will die. The Varus falls as well, and so does the Zephyrs in just a second. The arm has 1 HP, but the game ends there. We do not get the ace before the win, but that's fine because we still won, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this game. Please be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you do enjoy this type of content, and I will be seeing you guys next time. See ya.